Do. It's nighttime and it's work time. This is what we do at night. We're gonna burn some candles. And if you want to work with me, or if you're in bed right now, trying to go to sleep, and just want some random guy talking in your ear, you're in the right place. I'm gonna be working. You're gonna hear some clicking, and I am gonna just be talking about random things. If you want to join the chat, come join the chat, and I will respond whenever I see your chat messages. Let's see, what am I gonna talk about today? Today I'm gonna talk about, I guess how I feel like girls just get away with everything. That's what I feel like these days. I saw this video today about this girl talking about cheating, and it got me thinking about how sometimes my wife wakes up mad at me when I didn't do anything wrong. She just gets mad, and it's because I guess I did something in her dream, and now she's mad at me in real life. Let me know if that's ever happened to you. I think that's happened to me like 2 or 3 times now. And I just feel like there's no winning in that situation, because I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I did not do anything. And yeah, that's what I was thinking about. And I saw this video about this girl. She was complaining about how she feels like if you talk to other girls at any point, like even the cashier, that's cheating. And I just thought that was insane in the membrane. Insane in the membrane. Because, like, if a guy did that, he would be considered a complete psycho, right? But women do that, and they are perfectly fine. And I was thinking about this as well, because I saw I don't know, you guys know the Christine Gnome? She is the current. I gotta look her up later. But she is all over right now because apparently there's a new app right now that you can use to self deport yourself. Like, just think about this, what I just said. Okay, there's an app right now that illegal aliens and immigrants can use to self deport. How insane is that? Let me look this girl up for quick. I think her name is Christine. No, yes, she is the current Secretary of Homeland Security. Look her up. She's actually I've never seen her before, but I know of her because she was the governor of I believe South Dakota, and she was running. She wanted to run for vice president, and obviously we know now that she lost out to JD Vance, but she was in the news a while back because she shot her dog, or she unalived a dog. Like, I still gotta be YouTube friendly here, even though it's late. It's the late night, and we're just gonna talk about random stuff. And if you're in here and you join the chat, you can always give me topics to talk about. And I'm working, and if I see your message, I will change topics and talk about whatever you want to talk about. But yeah, so there's this new app now that they're coming out. I think it's called CBP Home, and illegal immigrants can use it to deport themselves. So ICE does not need to go get them. They just sign up on the app, and boop boop, they're out of here. And I just thought that's a very funny thing because who's be using this app? Who's using this app? That is crazy. I just don't see anyone use because like think about it, right? They're already having a very hard time deporting people, right? And if they're already having this much trouble deporting people, why don't we just chance it? I guess that I think that's what I'm thinking about right now. they're they're not trying to they're not gonna get you. I think that's the issue. Like they're having such a hard time already. Why would you self-deport yourself? I mean, I guess the idea is that if you do the self-deporting, supposedly they're saying that in the future you can maybe come back. But they're not giving any guarantees that you can come back or not. They're just saying that if you self-deport yourself, you can come back later, which it's really funny to me because it's like trust us, we'll let Consuela back. Don't worry. Oh, not a sponsor, but Panera, they're having this deal right now. I guess they have a sip club drink thing, and for $3 a month right now, I can get unlimited Panera drinks. So that's what I've been doing. If I get the eye bags, I drink like 3 coffees today. It's $3. If I just get one drink a day, it's worth it. It's way worth it. So yeah. And yeah, so I see the picture of this Christine Nome lady because she does a commercial for this CBP home app, right? And my first thought was she's pretty good looking. Like she's a stunning lady. And it just reminds me of like how it doesn't matter how psycho the girl is. Any guy would always look past any of those flaws, and they'll immediately go, "I think I can make it work." So that's what I saw on the news today, and I thought that was very, very funny that they have an app. And then the first thing I did, right, after I saw that they have this app that you can deport yourself, is because it's already out. People are using it already. And you know the thing about apps, right? You can rate them. So I look on the ratings, right? It's got 1,000 reviews, and it's very split between 5 stars and 1 stars. I mean, the 1 star obviously completely outweighs the 5 stars, but the fact that there are 5 star reviews for this thing is funny. Oh, you think I look hot? Thank you so much. Hot. Thank you, thank you. I think I am very oogly right now, so thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as I said, if you guys have something you want to talk about, we can chat all night. I have lots of work to do, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And yep, 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 yep. If not, I'm just going to be talking about random things that come to my mind. And as I said, I've been talking about this self-deporting app. I can't get it out of my mind. It's crazy because you know what's even more funny, right? Is I was watching the news about it, right? And they're showing you how it works. So like you go in the app, you enter your information, and apparently you have like a appointment date to meet at the border, and they just like kick you out, right? And they had a brown guy try the app, and so he's like doing the app, right? And I was laughing because the newscasters that were in the studio, they're white, and they have this brown guy. He's on the field, and he's like, "Oh, let me show you how the app works," and he's entering like stuff. And my first thought was they just got him deported. They just deported their coworker. That that was very funny. If you guys want to have a good laugh, go check it out. It's called the CPB Home app. You could deport yourself. And then my next thought was, how many Americans are like right now thinking about deporting themselves right now? Oh, what a time, what a time, what a time, what a time. What else is going on in the world? Or maybe a better question is, what is on in your world? That's what I like to know. I think nighttime's a great time to kind of like self reflect on your day, hopefully get yourself ready for their next day, and hopefully have a better day than you had before. That I have a daughter or a kid, and you know, I think every parent just wants what's best for them, and sometimes they're like, "Oh, you didn't have to do that. How come I have to do that?" And I just say, "Hey, the goal is for you to have it better than me. So toughen up." Toughen up. And yeah, that is the goal, as a parent. I don't know, you guys have children out there, but it kind of changes things a lot for you. If you're not there when you get there, you'll know. And I'm excited for you if you are working towards that way, or if you're long term, like far away from it. Um, it is something to be very excited for. But one thing that I always find very funny, not I don't know it's funny or not. Maybe it's just my sense of humor, right? Is that I find it funny that um, for girls they try very hard, in the early times to not get pregnant, and once you get down to the time that you want to try to like start a family, it becomes like a chore. It's like hard. It's like hard work to start a family. Like I think that's very interesting, especially with the rise of like IVF right now and all of the other ways. Like I guess it's becoming a problem. But I don't know why I thought that that was very funny to me. That when you're younger, you try so hard to not get pregnant, but when you get older, you're like, come on, let's go. Do. What am I working on? I am just working. I am doing some computer work right now. Let me see. What else can we talk about? I mean, I was streaming earlier, and what I like to do is just make up a movie. And I didn't get to it. So if Bulk, if you're here or you're listening to this, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna make a movie for you. What we can work on the movie we were working on before. uh, I don't know if you guys were there for this, but I had an idea that Hollywood these days they just keep remaking the same like movies all the time. But at least if you're gonna remake the movies, right? At least do some ones that we haven't seen yet. Like, how many times did they try to remake Spider-Man? How many times that they remade Snow White? Like, why can't they remake, I don't know, like Gremlins or something? Like something that has like cultural impact. I mean, at the end of the day, this is why I was going with this, is that the goal of making movies is actually to sell merch. Ask George Lucas. Okay, George Lucas is rich and powerful right now because somebody didn't think that Star Wars was gonna be a hit, and they messed up. They messed up. They gave him the licensing rights for all the sweet, sweet, sweet merchandise. And now, if you get a Millennium Falcon Lego set, Mr. George Lucas gets a piece. He gets a piece of all the Star Wars action, not because he deserves it or not. It's just he has anything that says Star Wars and it's a merchandise, he gets a piece. And they keep remaking the same movies. They're remaking Snow White. I swear they've done this before. They've done this before. Wait, Snow White. Didn't didn't they already remake Snow White? Snow White, isn't it? There's a Chris Hemsworth Snow White, right? Where he's the huntsman, right? Am I going crazy? Is it all blending together now? What they keep remaking the movies where you forget, or do the Hollywood executives think that we're so dumb that we don't remember that they already remade some of these movies? Like they keep remaking them. Can they just stop? Can they just stop? It's crazy. Like, am I taking crazy pills? Like, I swear they already remade recently in my lifetime. Think about that for a second, okay? In your lifetime, right? I'm assuming most of you guys are around the same age I am, where, or not even, you don't need to be the same age as me. You watched all the Disney cartoons, right? And then they remake them. Oh, no. They remaster them, not even remake, okay? They just said that they're going to do a better job with it this time. Trust us, it's different. They're going to add like 2 frames, right? Let's just talk maybe like Aladdin, right? There's Aladdin, and then they remastered Aladdin, and then they made the terrible Will Smith Aladdin. No, let's go back more. They make Aladdin 2, then they make Aladdin, and we all saw part 2, but then they had part 3, the King of Thieves, the something of Thieves. I don't remember. That's the one I didn't see. And then maybe they probably even had a 4th one or 5th one, and they just keep on going. It just keeps on going, guys. We gotta keep on going, and that's how you mess up a franchise. Just keep on going. Imagine if they stopped after 2. That would be perfect. Just stop. I think I talked about this before, but Lost, one of the best TV shows ever, was only supposed to be 3 seasons. And the greedy executives saw the money coming in and told the writers to extend it. Lost was actually supposed to end around the time when, do you remember that famous scene where he goes, "Not Penny's ship," or whatever? They originally wrote it to be around there. And then from there on, they had one more season. And then some greedy executive or producer came in and told them to stretch that last season they had to 3 or 4 more seasons. But the writers already planned the ending. That was it. There's no more. And so they had to take the last season that they had and then take each episode and then chop it up into a bigger chunk, like chop it up and then splice in filler to fill out a whole nother season. And so what they did was they took that last season that they had, they cut it into like 4 or 5 chunks, and then they cut it again, and then they added fillers in to kind of bulk it up. And that's how Lost just completely went crazy. And I don't know how it ended. My wife finished it. I stopped watching it, but she told me it ended terribly. I mean, like, even Walking Dead, I'm surprised Walking Dead is still around. Like, that show should have definitely ended. I felt like a billion times they should have all died. Like it made no sense. And it was like the same show over and over again, and I felt like I was watching Crazy Pills. I mean, I was taking Crazy Pills there too, because they kept on going from this place to that place, and it was the same show, just in a different location, different bad guy. You know? Sorry, I'm gonna be typing now. I don't know if you can hear typing, but doing some typing. I'll get back on my train of thought while I'm typing. If someone's here, you want to give me a topic to talk about, I can definitely talk about it. I mean, my favorite is to solve the world's problems. Give me a world problem and I'll solve it. This is the kind of brain power that you're working with here. Now, keep in mind, keep in mind, I'm not the smartest guy. I'm just some guy on the internet that you're listening to. But any idea sometimes is better than no idea. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see. What else? What else can we talk about? We want to continue. We can continue talking about shows because I feel like we're a collection of our experiences. You know, like they say that you form your personality or inner core self by the time you're 6 or 7 or 8, somewhere around there. That age range, right? And then the rest of the time, you are gaining different experiences, good or bad, and those experiences shape who you are later. And I'm a big believer in this because I believe that if you really wanted to, you could be whatever you want to be in your life. Think about this, okay? A lawyer or a doctor is some guy that just knows about medical stuff, right? You, if you really wanted to, can learn about the law or medical stuff. And what drives me crazy is that a lot of times these doctors are, they get it wrong because it's all based on how much they can. Yes, hello, Gerald. Yes, you've heard that too, right? Where it's around four, your personality solidifies and then it doesn't change. I've heard that too. And I don't, you've been here a lot and you know that I have a kid. So thinking about my kid at the current age and thinking that's the personality, I am scared for my life. So I hope that we could just sprinkle in some experiences that will help shape the life in a better way. So that part scares me a lot. That that's what it is now. Where was I going before I saw that? Gerald Steiner, you gotta give me a topic here. I've been talking nonstop for like 20, 30 minutes now. And I've covered loss. I've gone this way, that way, you know? No, some people have certain talents. For example, I could become the world's champion chess. You have to be born with it. Okay, you want me to get on a chess rant? Okay, I can get on a chess rant. Well, we'll get back to the talent thing in another second, though, okay? But let's talk about chess real quick because you brought up chess. Chess, I feel like, chess has been around since medieval times, right? And I feel like chess is actually a game of memorization. If you really break down chess, it's about whoever makes the least optimal move first, and that's how you lose. Like Carl Magnus or whatever his name is, he's the considered the best right now, right? It's because he knows of the moves that are available. He knows what's the best move, and your opponent, and so you know what's the best move. You do that move, and then you expect your opponent to do their best move, and then they know that you know what the next best move is, and you're just going to keep on going, doing the best move that you can possibly do until somebody messes up the sequence and does maybe the second best move, the third best move at the time. and that's where you go, oh, you did the second, third best move, and it completely derails the rest of the game, right? That's why if you have any of these top chess players and they play a computer that is programmed with all the best moves possible or can analyze the board and figure out what is the number one most optimal move, they will lose 99% of the time because the human mind will make a mistake at some point when cold, hard computer, non-feeling, heartless computer will make the best move every time. And if you know anything about high-level chess, it's also taught in blocks. That's how they remember what the optimal moves are of the given pieces that are there. So technically, chess is not talent. It is willpower to learn the moves. Because if you watch on Netflix, they do a great job with this. The Queen's Gambit, there's a part where she's learning the blocks of moves. Like, I forgot someone's drilling her. So if someone does this, they're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. And if someone does this, you're going to do this, and they're going to do this, and you're going to do that. And that's how you learn big, high level chess parts. It's just blocks of. So if you really, really wanted to, hard work will get you there. And I guess that brings me back to what I was talking about. Or the other thing, right, is that I feel like hard work always outbeats talent most of the time. Um, I was given this example a while back. I'm probably gonna butcher it. Let me think. Yes, well, I'm trying to read your comment first. Okay, yes, but he was memorizing all the countries in the world at a young age and has rumored to have photographic memory. That's what I'm saying. So it goes back to what I was saying. Chess is actually just a game of memorization. There's no real I wouldn't say that is a talent, but that is possible if you practice enough that you can remember a certain amount if you really wanted to. And that goes back to what I was saying. If you wanted to become a doctor, you just need to know, spend your time learning medical stuff, right? Or you want to be a lawyer, spend your time learning lawyer stuff, like law stuff. Yes, that's true. I think that's what I was trying to get at is that hard work beats talent most of the time unless you meet the guy that has the talent and the work ethic. You know, like a Michael Jordan type where he's got talent and he's a psychopath that he just wants to win so bad that if you I love those one of my favorite things are those Michael Jordan gambling stories. I'm sure you've heard them where you could be playing quarters on the side of the street for $1 and he'll come over and he's like, "What are you guys playing? $1? I got $1. Let's play." And he'll sit there until he wins. Um, there's a story about uh, I'm trying to remember the golfer exactly. I don't want to completely like if I don't have the right name, I don't want to completely say, but there's a golfer out there, right? And supposedly he's really, really good. I'm trying to think of the name, but I don't want to say, like I said, I don't want to say the name unless I know for sure, because then I'll just throw out some random golfer's name and someone's gonna give me a lot of hate later. But supposedly he's really, really good, but he's also in lots and lots of debt. And no, it's not Tiger Woods. I mean, I'm pretty sure Tiger Woods does it too, but if you look up, no, it's not. He's like a modern one. Um, but you know the live live Saudi Arabian golf thing that they had before the PGA bought them back in. So he was one of the big golfers that went over there, and they offered him a buttload of money. And supposedly the reason why he left to go over there is because he needed the money to pay off gambling debts. And you're thinking, okay, gambling debts, like maybe he's like a Michael Jordan. No. So supposedly he is a professional high level golfer, probably top, I don't know, 10 or so. I don't know the exact ranking, right? He's a high level top golfer, right? and supposedly he owes Michael Jordan tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And you're thinking to myself, Michael Jordan plays golf, but he's as good as a pro golfer? That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, he plays a lot of golf, and Michael Jordan's a very competitive player, but supposedly this golfer owes not just Michael Jordan hundreds of thousands of dollars, multiple people hundreds of thousands of dollars related to golf. So it's not like he's playing cards and he loses money. It's not like he's trying to, do a slam dunk contest with Michael Jordan or anything. He's playing golf with these people and he's losing tons of money. You know why? And this is the part that makes me that's I find so funny. It's because he's gambling on trick shots. So like I'm just imagine. Let's just say Tiger Woods because everyone knows Tiger Woods, right? Just imagine, and it's not Tiger Woods. Just imagine Tiger Woods playing with Michael Jordan, and they're at a hole, and then Tiger Woods is like, "Hey, I bet you $100,000 if I could hit a ball and make it bounce off that tree, off that rock, and roll backwards into the hole." Like it's stuff like that. Or he'll be like, you know, "Hey, I bet you that I can. You see that lake over there, buddy? You see that lake over there, Jordan? I bet you I could hit the ball, skim it off the lake, hit the tree, land in a car, have the car drive the ball to the other side of the course. And when the car stops, the inertia of the stop makes the ball go into the hole. I bet you that for $1,000,000." and it, and then Jordan or whoever would be like, "Okay, I didn't ask for this, but sure, I'll take your bet." And then they'll bet him, and he'll lose. So I guess that's a part that's kind of related to talent. So I don't know why, but hearing that story makes me laugh so much. If you have your computer available, you can maybe look up who it is. I think it's like, is it Phil Michelson or something? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to completely oust the guy and then gambling equals talent. Okay, gambling is a talent when you win. Gambling is a problem when you lose. And every gambler is always gonna say, "Oh, I got it. The next one, guys. I got it. Don't worry. Don't worry. The next one. You got lucky this time. You got lucky. You got lucky. I'm gonna win." All right. All right. Sorry. Okay. This project is done. Sorry, I'm gonna do some clicking. Clicking. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about talent versus hard work, and I don't know how I got derailed on the whole gambling thing, but that's just part of life. You get derailed. You gotta get back on track. I remember going to a job interview, right? And they liked the fact that I was on cross country because cross country. Oh my god, cross crunchy, cross crunch. Oh my gosh, I can't even say it. You know what I mean? The running lots of miles because when you're doing that, it's just pure willpower to finish, right? And so they're like, they like that aspect, having that just that experience, that know that you can pull from that at some point, that the willpower is in there to run miles and miles and miles and miles and not stop. Because if you stop, you lose, right? The minute you take a break, everyone's gonna pass you. And they were talking about she was older, so she was making the comparison of Deion Sanders, right? Deion Sanders versus some other football guy. I don't remember exactly who else. But supposedly the other guy was 10 times more talented than Deion Sanders. You guys don't know who Deion Sanders is? I believe he's a running back. He's before my time too, right? Bro, I'm telling you about the motivation, maybe meetup or something, not the show. If you want to do it, maybe, maybe. Oh, the movie thing? Yes. Maybe, if we get the whole idea together, maybe we'll do a meetup. That would be really cool. But back to Deion Sanders, right? I don't remember who the other football player is, but they were talking. She was talking about the other guy was way more talented. Deion Sanders, drafted higher than him, was getting paid more than him at the time, and that caused a chip on Deion Sanders' like shoulder, where he just started working harder and harder and harder and started climbing the ranks and just until you know he became one of the best. And I just that's where I want to say that in a way, hard work. Now, unless you meet a guy that has the talent and hard work, but the chances of you meeting someone that has both is low because their talent, if they start getting lazy, you can pass them because some people they are born with talent and they didn't have to work as hard at whatever it is that they're trying to do. They didn't work as hard, because hey, it was easy. Um, and sometimes I struggle with this with my kid too. Some things the kid's naturally good at, and I can see the motivation is not there, because why do I need to work on this? I'm already good at it. But someone that's working even harder because they're not good at it will eventually pass you because you're gonna stay at the same level while that other person is gonna slowly, slowly get up there and then pass you. Okay, books here. Bullock. We could work on this movie if you really want to. I know we've been I don't know, do we want to stick with the same theme or do we want to completely do a whole new movie? Do we want to do space? Do we want to do fantasy? Do we want to do a comedy? Comedies are fun. They don't make comedies anymore. Those are great movies. You know what I like about comedy is that it doesn't cost anything. It is super low budget to make a comedy or a scary movie. That's why, with our budget, we need to do like a comedy scary movies. Like there's a trend now. I kind of like it. It's the they're having scary movies for almost every holiday. Like I saw a trailer for Mother's Day, a scary movie Mother's Day. You know, what is there to joke about nowadays? Everything's a joke if it's funny. Like I was saying before, they made. I don't know if you guys were hear about this, but they have a app right now that just came out. I think what's today, the 13th? It came out on the 10th. Look this app up. CBP Home. It's an app to deport yourself from America. That's hilarious. Basically, you sign up, you get the app, you download it, you enter in your information, and then it tells you to leave the country. And I guess it gives you an appointment, and you're outsies. If you're in America, I know some of you guys are not in America, but I thought that was hilarious because like you could make a whole movie about that. Okay, that could be our movie. Okay, this is what I found super funny, and I talked about it earlier. Is so where I saw it was on the news, right? And it was like on ABC or one of the channels, right? And this is gonna be our movie. Okay, so they were talking about the app, and then the newscasters were both white, but the guy on the field, how they have someone in the field and they're always a minority, right? Well, he was like Mexican or brown. He was not white. Okay. And they're talking about this app to deport illegal immigrants and aliens and whatnot, right? And at some point he's like, let me show you how it works. I'm gonna try it, right? And then he's like, and you see him boop 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 boop, and then they're doing like graphics of the app and stuff, right? And he's like, oh, you enter your information, you get a confirmation, and you get an appointment to leave, right? The minute I saw him start doing the app, my first thought was they just got this guy deported. So that's our movie. Okay. So this is how it's gonna start. It's gonna start with all the immigration stuff, blah blah, blah, and it's gonna go exactly to that new scene. The main character is that newscaster on the field. So once he starts going, he inserts the information, and then right when he goes, ha ha ha, let me show you how it works, boop 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 boop, he hits send, and ICE literally comes and grabs him. He's like, "What's going on? Why are you guys taking me? And I'm legal or whatever." And then it cuts to the studio now, and they're like, I guess we'll see you later." And then the movie is actually his journey back into America to get back at those two newscasters because they actually set him up. They knew that he was. Let's see. No, 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 no. He's actually a full blown American, but at this point they don't care. But they're just trying to get rid of him. So that's the movie. It's him getting back, getting back at these two guys. Okay, and it's a comedy slasher because to make his way back, sha 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 sha. You know what I mean? He is gonna be slicing and dicing. All right, now we need a name for this movie, though. We need a name. One of you guys come up with a name, but it's gonna be like the Taco Man, like something that's okay. The key again is you need merchandise. So when he gets deported, he ends up in Mexico, right? But he's not Mexican at all. He's he's slicing into. He's I'm trying to think of like someone that looks brown, like almost like Mexican, but they're not Mexican. It'll come to me, but he's not Mexican, so he gets deported over to Mexico because they don't care. It's like literally like, here you go. Because I was thinking about the people getting deported, right? It's like some of them have been here for 20 plus years. When they get over there, like they don't know anybody. They just like, do they just kick them off the plane or whatever, and they're just like, see ya. So that's what's gonna happen to him, right? He's just gonna get kicked off the plane or bus and they're like, "See ya." And the first thing he sees when he gets to the other side is a taco stand, because the taco stand opened their business at that spot because everyone gets deported to that spot. That's a deportation spot, and when you first get out, you're hungry, and it doesn't matter if you cross 20, like that taco stand's been there for like 20 plus years. Everyone that tries to cross the border always ends back up at this taco stand, and it's a big franchise taco stand because they've had 20, 30 years of repeat customers. Like literally, when he goes inside, it's like they all know each other, and it's like, "Oh, did you make it across today, man?" And they're like, "No, not today." um And since he doesn't know anybody, he ends up working at the taco place, and he hears everybody's plans, how they're gonna cross over, and he's like, "Oh." And he used to work in the news, right? So he like knows news stuff, and he's like, "No, I remember doing a report at this spot here. This used to be El Chapo's tunnel." And they're like, "You know El Chapo's tunnel?" And supposedly it's like the most famous tunnel that El Chapo used to go back and forth, but since is El Chapo gone? That part I don't. Is he gone? I don't remember. But everyone forgot about where his tunnel was. But he's like, I remember I did a report on it, and it should be around here. And then he gets all these guys, and they dig a tunnel. No, they dig to the tunnel, and I guess there's a part of the movie where he needs to collect a bunch of people. You gotta do that montage. I love montage when they collect people. It's one of my favorite things in movies. Is when they just like you gotta get a digger guy, you gotta get a spy, you gotta get a and that's one of my favorite things when they do in movies is when they collect all these the specialists. And so they go collect all these specialists and yeah, they get to the other side. They they dig their way to the hole. You know, they got a digger, and then you got to get one hottie body, right? They got a hottie body, they got a digger person, they got a person that knows how to drive, you know, because you need a driver, even though you're inside a tunnel. He's driving everything, this guy. Well, 2 hottie bodies? Whoa, 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 there, whoa, there. We don't have the budget for 2 hottie bodies, okay? We're gonna get 1 hottie body and maybe a guy with long hair that on the side, like, if you look real quick, he could be a hottie body. We don't got the money for that, okay? We're think about low, low, low budget, okay? Low budget. I mean, they're digging with spoons. We can't even afford shovels, okay? They got spoons, and the taco stand is actually a lemonade stand, you know. It may sound grander in your mind, but when we actually do it, just tone it down like 10,000 times. It's like I'm saying this taco place has been here for 20 years and they're like they got franchises. What I mean is they got multiple lemonade stands. Will some women love the spot like for free? I guess that's true. Okay, okay. You bring up a very good point. Okay. Have you seen those content where people just like come up to people and interview them? That's what we're gonna do, but we're gonna make them say lines that are in the movie, and then we'll just green screen them all in. Like we'll go up to people. No, no. Okay, not even that. Okay, we're not even gonna use that. We're gonna walk up to people, green screen, just like when they're just walking, just pop a green screen behind them and walk behind them. And then they're like, "What are you guys doing?" And then we're gonna film this content too. We're gonna film ourselves green screening people, and they're like, "Why are you guys walking behind me with a green screen?" And you're like, and don't say anything. And then, okay, okay, even better. You know how people sit outside like grocery stores or whatever, and they try to get you to sign like petitions, but if you actually look at it, Um, yeah, we're gonna definitely add that. This relates back to Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan always does bloopers and stuff. We're doing that. But anyways, you know how like people get you to sign those petitions and it's all a scam. If you really look at it, they're like, "Hey, do you like children slavery, like enslaved children?" And you're like, "Ugh, no, I don't like slave enslaved children." Or they're like, do you hate whales?" And I'm like, "No, I like whales." "Well, come sign our petition." And then, you don't want to be a complete like butthole. So you go sign their petition, but you look at it, what they do is they have their front part and it says save the whales. And they're like, "Oh, sign here our petition." But if you flip that page up and it's like, uh, be in our crappy movie. Oh, we signed this a waiver and consent form for me to be in your movie. We're gonna do that. We're gonna be outside like places, and we're gonna have these partitions that say "Save the whales," right? And then we're like, "Do you hate whales?" And then they're like, "No, I love whales." And you sign it, and then that's when we walk behind them with the green screens. And during the part when they're signing, that's when we give them lines, and they're like, and then we just green screen them into our movie, and then that's the consent form they just signed to be in our movie. So we'd be like, "Hey, do you like whale? Do you hate the whales?" They're like, "No, I love whales. Well, come sign our petition. And by the way, what do you think about tacos?" And they'll be like, "I love tacos." And then boom, now they're in our movie saying, "I love tacos," right? And then we'll just get them all, and we'll just have you just have to, like, cut it around it perfectly, where they'd be like, "I love tacos," and then you're like, "Oh my gosh, your friend is cheating on you," and you're like, "What? No way!" And then at some point in the movie, they're like, you do something awesome, right? This is the part where you're like slicing and dicing, right? That's the working title, right? I don't like the name. We'll work on it. You're slicing and dicing people, right? You made it across the border, slicing and dicing people, and then you cut to the next scene, and it's like not a next scene, but you do the edit cut where you see some like the people reacting, and they're like, "Whoa, you're awesome!" Like, no way, right? No way. And you just keep on doing that with different people all over. And we just added like 100 people to our movie. Maybe some of them hottie bodies. Maybe some of them, I don't know, body positive or whatever. That's right. We did it. See, we just added tons of people to our movie for free and got their consent. Right. And that's basically it. I think that's it for now. For this movie. I mean, we're gonna keep working on it though. I like this idea so far. I don't like that the title "Slicing and Dicing." We'll work on it because I think we need to talk through the movie first, and then we'll come back and we'll figure out the title. That's for sure. Because we're slicing and dicing our way to get back to those two newscasters that kicked us out with this app, the deportation app. I guess I know the end of the movie will be the two newscasters get deported and they get sent to some random like white country like uh like Norway or something, you know. Just like, put them in Norway and they're like, "What am I doing here?" And they're like, and then if you guys have been coming a lot, you guys know in Norway Americans are dirt poor. So you sent them to Norway and they're dirt poor. I don't know you guys know this, okay, but Norwegian money, they use the crown. They don't use euros, even though they're in Europe. They don't use euros. They use crowns. And I've talked about this before. Their minimum wage in the 90s, okay, in the 90s was $20 an hour, US dollars. 20 US dollars. So their McDonald's worker, my cousin was telling me their McDonald's worker makes more than a nurse over here in the 90s. So they have, I think it's nobody talks about this, but they have oil money over there. That's why they're so rich. They have, I believe, the um, largest oil offshore underwater oil reserves or something of that nature. And their people get a dividends, or their government gets a dividends off it from Norway mining it, or something of that nature. So that's how they're able to pay for all their programs that they have over there. So when like Donald Trump's saying like their education's so good or blah blah blah, no, it's because they use the money that they get from their oil rights or whatever, and they pump it into those programs. And that's what I was saying before, that America's number one thing is our military. And I was saying that when we sell airplanes and missiles and guns and bullets, they should use that money and pump it directly into like these like the school system. Imagine if the school emblem is actually two AR-15s like crossed and a book in the middle. Oh, that would be fun. All right, I feel like that was pretty good. I gotta take a break and I'll be back a little bit later. I mean, I would love to actually do this all night, but I feel like it's actually hard to talk and work at the same time. I mean, unless you guys just want to watch me in silent, but I feel like that's very boring. So I'll be back, and I try to keep these at an hour chunks. I think hour would be the best. So thanks for thanks for dropping in. This is late. I'm surprised you guys are on, to be honest. All right, later. Thank you so much. We're gonna work hard on this movie. I think I like the idea. I feel like I'm gonna storyboard this later, and so we don't lose our ideas. And if you have ideas, put it into the chat so I can, like we can work on it. I, so far, I like the idea, but I said I wanted to make it a horror, like a scary movie, because they don't make scary movies anymore, and they don't make comedies anymore. You gotta combine them together. It's scary. Oh, but never mind. That's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to laugh while you're scared. Remake of Rocky Balboa, like the original Rocky. You know, that is something I guess. I mean, technically, they already remade it with Creed in a way. Unless you really want that grimy, like, without Rocky in there at all. Because you know what's the funny thing about Rocky, right? Rocky one, he was a bum. Rocky two was just a continuation of Rocky one, right? Rocky two, I mean Rocky three is when he fought what's it, Mr. T. But Rocky three, was that when he started getting rich already? Because I know Rocky four, he was filthy rich. And he started to become unrelatable, and they couldn't continue the rich storyline, so they knocked him back down to being a bum, like being poor, and then they just continued that on. But I feel like, I guess if you really want to remake Rocky, you got to do that poor storyline again, because that's what relates to people. But you know what? No, you know what? Okay, you got me thinking more. You know what the best Rocky was? That one that everyone remembers. It's Rocky 4, the one where he was rich. So, and they keep making it going down where he's not rich, or they're trying to make him relatable. Maybe we should actually remake Rocky 4. Yes, you know what? The new generation, they need a Rocky 4 to remind everybody that Russia is not our friend. Maybe that's what this younger generation needs. Because I remember growing up, Russia was the bad guy. And I feel like people forgot. The young generation don't know anything about that. Like, what's also very interesting is that when we talk about these movies that kind of shape our childhood or shape our like our core selves, like Rocky. Like I say Rocky, you know exactly what that is. The younger kids never seen Rocky. They don't even know who Sylvester Stallone is. Sylvester Stallone to these younger kids is just the dad of he's got 2 daughters. I think they're podcasters, right? They're just he's just their dad. Like, like they just know him as, "Oh, these 2 girls, they have a famous dad." Or I guess they know him as in Creed, right? He was in Creed just a little bit. They know him as the coach that was in Creed. Like they don't know that he fought Russia for America, okay? And that's what we need. We need to remake Rocky. Can you imagine they? Oh, you lost connection. Oh no. You missed my whole Rocky Balboa rant that we need to remake Rocky 4 so the kids today can understand the fear of Russia. Imagine if they remake Rocky 4 and they use similar people now. Like they get I'm not sure who's gonna play Rocky, right? But they get a guy that looks like Vladimir Putin, right? And we'll call him Dim- Dmitry Sutin. I don't know, you know, uh, something like that, right? And then he's got a guy, and then he juices him up because the kids also, it's very interesting now. I remember growing up, and the roids was not something you wanted to be on because it shrinks your friend, the guy downstairs. And I feel like I've seen a lot of content now, or at least guys now, they're all into um that kind of stuff. And you gotta add that into the movie too. You gotta add Dimitri Sutin and give him some guy and get him all roided up and have him fight an American true hero. Like we'll get we'll get who's someone the kids like Logan Paul. No, Jake Paul. I got it. I got it. I got it. Jake Paul. This Jake Paul, if you're out there, this is your way. Stop fighting all these random people. Remake Rocky Balboa. Like I feel like he can do it. Inside there, he's a child actor too, so somewhere in there he knows how to act, right? And yeah, if he remade Rocky Balboa, oh, but then again, he'll get so much negative hate that I don't think it's gonna take off. Yeah, we'll brainstorm that one later too. All right. I gotta go. I gotta finish all these projects. I think it's too hard to try to work and talk and come up with these stories at the same time. All right. See you guys later. Again, I'll try to do multiple streams throughout the day. Keep you guys entertained. See you later.